Hello out there in Wonderland. This is Vito, and we're going to be looking at some simple, easy to do as a starter if you have guests over, or even just a snack. Great for not having too many ingredients at home, so we have just basic ingredients. It's a bruschetta. So bruschetta entails having a quality bread. So you have a nice bread. This one's handmade ciabatta. It's nice and airy. So nice bread. Good tomatoes. We've got, they call this particular tomato beefsteak tomato, full of flavour. Very nice. Try to get a firm one when you're making bruschetta, so there's too much liquid. You have to discharge.
Is that an organic one?
Yeah, these are. I go to an organic shop in Dramana and get these. Garlic. Once again, it's organic too. Try to buy one that's got a bit of colour in it. The purple, the bleached ones are really bleached. That's why they're white. So keep away from the white ones. They are bleached, literally bleached. Just from the garden, you're going to need parsley and basil. So while we're on the subject of, also another main ingredient is the red onion, also known as the calabrese onion. Salt and pepper, oil, olive oil. You're going to need, for this particular recipe, I'm going to use black pepper, lemon and basil. So why am I using these oils? Because I enjoy using the oils because of the benefits it gives you. Enhances the flavour of the food as well. So fresh herbs are great. Dried herbs are also, if you have nothing else, okay. But let's go through the benefits of dried, fresh, and why we use essential oils. So there was a fellow called Bruscitta, Washington technology. He put together some whoopie-doopie machine that can work out what the frequencies are on virtually everything. So the frequencies on dried herbs is somewhere between dried herbs. We have what's the dried herbs again?
21.
I've got it on this piece of paper that's staring me right in the face.
It's on this, on the next one.
Maybe it's on this page here, frequencies. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So dried herbs have a frequency of 12 to 23 megahertz. So this is a study that this Bruce fellow has done. So if you go to fresh herbs, you're looking at 20 to 27 megahertz. And the potency of an essential oil, the reason why it sits between 52 and 32 is because the oils themselves have different frequencies.
It's 320, I think.
320 was it?
Bang megahertz. That's how high it is.
And that's rose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, rose. It's got 320. So anything from 52 to 320 megahertz. So the human body sits at 62 to 68 megahertz when you're well. So when you're not well, you start your body shows a deficiency in the megahertz, and you start to dip, and that's when your body starts to show ailments, okay, some sort of sickness or whatever. So by taking an essential oil internally, topically, or even respiratory, helps to build your megahertz up again and restores your body. So first, let's just have a look at the benefits before I go into the practical side of things. So if you have a look, do your own research on this, and you'll find there's quite a bit of good information on there. The benefits of using a basil, either fresh, or dried, or preferably essential oil, is that it's capable to treat colds, flu viruses, it relaxes your muscles, treats ear infections. One time I actually had that. I went to bed with an ache in the ear, and I looked it up, and it said to apply basil around, not completely in, but just around on the outer part and the stem. And then the next morning it just wasn't there anymore, so that was quite amazing. It reduces stress and improves mood as well. Basil does. It's got that sweet, rich odour. and relieves constipation and helps with digestive issues. So the other one we're looking at is black pepper, and black pepper is really, really good. Black pepper was used way back Egyptian times. They actually used black pepper in mummifying the bodies. So this helps with digestion, infection in your digestive system. It's also very rich in antioxidants, black pepper is, and it's effective for rheumatical and arthritic type issues and cramps. So that's those ones. And then the last one is lemon. Now lemon has lots and lots and lots of good things. So you can, it's all good to take internally. Once again, you can take it respiratory or topically as well, and it's good for things like fever, gout. Helps with the immune system, stress, etc. So do your own homework on that. So we'll start with the bruschetta, the bread. So what I've done, there's a little tip here. So if you want to prepare in advance, you've got visitors coming and you want to get ready. A good tip is, when you're making club sandwiches, if you ever made a sandwich or quantity of sandwiches and you don't want to make it the last minute, if you damp your tea towel, not wet but just damp, and cover your bread, whether it's your club sandwiches or your just bread, it'll keep it moist and still fresh. So that's what I've done with the bread, and it keeps it fresh. Then you get a really, really hot heavy metal pan, and you put your bread on there until it toasts. And this is the time where you grab a garlic clove, you cut it in half, you can still keep the skin on. And while it's still hot, this is a secret towards a really good bruschetta. While it's still hot, you just rub the garlic. As you can see, I've rubbed quite a bit of it. On both sides, helps. Both sides, just rub it while it's still hot. You can't smell that, but the aroma on the bread is just amazing. So that's a good start to a good bruschetta. So you've got your garlic rub. Then you dice your tomatoes. You cube into small or large ones. I'll let them drain to get the moisture out in one of these colanders, and then I'll use it. So it's been draining. I've put a little bit of salt there. Get the excess out. So you got your tomatoes, so you got your parsley and your basil, fresh leaves together. Give them a good wash, and then just finely chop them up. So just finely chop them up, put them in there. The rest of your garlic that you were using, you can take the skin off now. It's a bit hard to take the skin on once it's been, but anyhow, the best way to do it is to crush it with the blade of your knife, and the skin just comes off by itself. Did you see that? It just comes off, you don't have to peel it. So once again, really, really fine, the garlic, crossways, always, so it gets really, really fine. Just add it to your tomato mix just in there. So you've got garlic, and then you've got your onions. You don't need a lot of onions here. This is a fairly big red onion. Anyhow, the best way to do this is you peel your onion, you slice down this way, twice, maybe even 3 times, the size of this onion. And then you go crossways, from the middle out this way, holding the onion together, and then you just slice.
Perfect.
It's a very blunt knife. Yeah, just slice your onions into little cubes. Okay, so you got your mix in there. So we just put a pinch of salt. Oh, pepper. I've got four peppers here. I've got green, red, black and white. And I grind my own pepper. So I buy the pepper corns, and I've got a pestle and mortar hand one. And the smell of freshly ground pepper is amazing. So this is really good for you. Okay, so we've got a bit of that in there. Give it a bit of a jiggle. And then always, if you're going to disperse an essential oil, you always mix it with a carrier oil, olive oil. So we're used to it, but you can put just a teaspoon. You can just put a toothpick size of olive oil, essential oil into your mix of each one of them. But I'm going to use just one drop, because we really like it. I'm looking for the whole, so it comes out quickly. So if you can see, just one drop of black pepper, lemon. I don't know if you can see it on television land, but there's a little hole there. Can they see that?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Yeah.
Well, that little hole guides the flow of your oil. So if you've got it at 6 o'clock, like a dial on the clock, 6 o'clock, the hole, it'll flow very quickly. If you've got it at 3 or 9 o'clock, it'll flow not as fast. And if you tip the hole all the way up towards 12 o'clock, it'll flow even slower. Okay?
Jenny says...
on the viscosity of... I've got any lemon in there. Oh, this one's out.
Jenny said I was dropping the essential oil straight into the food.
Oh, yeah, we've done that, but you get a huge surprise when you eat that part that's got the oil in it. I think I'm drained with my essential oils. I've used so many times. Anyhow, so you got basil, you got lemon, and you got black pepper. You mix it with your oil. Now, if you're doing a barbecue, I could use a brush and brush it onto my bread. But the best thing would be to use rosemary leaf, basil leaf, any kind of herb leaf. Especially if you're doing a barbecue, you dip it into your seasoned oil and you rub your meat or you rub whatever it is, and then the flavours from that herb that you're using as a brush will transfer to your food. But because my bread at the moment it's cooled down, it's not going to transfer the parsley flavours or the essential oils that are already in the herbs. Yep, someone's calling, the grandchildren are calling. I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, so just use your oil, brush it in there, that's good, and then just the remainder into your mix, because we're good. Mix together. It's always good to taste it, but I'm sure it's fine. So then you just cap it onto your bread. And you can do this, you're not limited just to the tomato, basil, onions. You could use mushrooms. We went out today and I saw a bruschetta with mushrooms and poached egg. So it had all this plus the mushrooms and the poached egg. And then you can just use some of the bigger herbs just to. That's the basil, just the bigger herbs, just to garnish, and that's the parsley, just the bigger flakes, and that's it. Very simple.
Can you show them my energy ball?
Oh yes, we've got a surprise. So on here we've got energy balls, and Marjolaine's put orange in there. So it really brings up the flavour of the balls. You have to tell me what's in your energy balls.
It's on the
recipes here.
And I will write it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so once again, just to recap, why do we use essential oils? Well, not only does it enhance the flavour of your food, it's very safe to ingest. These are all being passed as digestible essential oils. However, they add a lot to your immune system. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got sliced almonds, toasted sliced almonds. This will be posted up. We've got coconut, unsweetened coconut. We've got coarse salt. We've got dates, pitted dates, almond flour, coconut flour, almond butter. Whoa. And 2 scoops of collagen?
Yeah, I didn't use that.
Oh.
No.
Okay. So
Just the 2
maple
tablespoons.
syrup plus more if necessary. And most lanes put the essential oil orange. Now orange is very good for uplifting, so if you're suffering from feeling low moods, not inspired, orange helps to uplift. It's a good spring type oil. It brings vitality to you.
Energy, yeah.
What am I doing?
Yep, energy. And
Energy.
And the next page, it just shows just a little bit how I did it.
Oh, the next page, yeah. Well, most lanes don't know.
Yeah, it's just, it wasn't cooking, it was just all bring it together.
So the muslin posters, so you just combine the
Ingredients.
together, place the dates, almonds, flour, coconut in a processor food chop
process.
it up, pulsate it, add the butter, collagen, the syrup, all the
Wet
ingredients, scrape down until the mixture is evenly ground. And then check to see if there's
I think the whole thing with the essential oil, I added it in the syrup.
Okay, yeah,
And
helps you distribute
because it wasn't cooking or anything, just put it together and roll it.
Yeah, it's not changing. Okay, that's a good. I'm glad you said that about cooking. Young Living goes through a very, very big process of ensuring that your oil that you get is perfect. Okay. They make sure that the ground, the farm that the seed that's planted where the oil comes from, that plant, is 25 years plus virgin oil, soil. So what that means is that there's no pesticides, no fertilizers, so no one's been there before them, that it's contaminated the soil. So they're really diligent with making sure that everything is pure. They use seeds that are not genetically modified. They do a lot to ensure that. So we trust Young Living because of the emphasis they put in the product that comes to us. The seed to seal product is the best in really the world. They are the cutting edge. So if we look at, for example, cypress oil has 288 constituents. Now, if it's been distilled 10 degrees more, 10 degrees less, you only end up with 11 constituents in that oil. So that's the importance of making sure you get it right. Otherwise, you're just going to lose all the benefits. So, any questions on that phone?
No questions. Ask questions. Kathy's watching, Jenny's watching, Laura's watching.
Oh, okay. Hi to everyone who's watching.
Yep.
No questions so far?
No.
Okay. Well, that's it. Don't come too close?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for me. And if you have any questions, just post them on there. I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time. Something simple and delicious. Ciao
Okay,
for now.
bye.
Bye.